everyone, this is Denise at Something Beautiful Handcrafts, and I just want to talk to you really briefly about cookies. But really, I'm talking to you about scale. Now, up until a little while ago, basically, the only time I had ever seen American Girl dolls was in the catalog, and I got the catalog for years before I even bothered, trying to get a doll, which is so strange. At any rate, once I started getting dolls, I was only interested in dolls, and so I wasn't getting really any accessories, not much interest in anything beyond the clothing. And the clothing is relatively easy. After a while, I decided to get a few items. Mainly, it was Samantha. I started finding items in a thrift store. And that's when I really thought about scale. Now, we all know American Girl doll stuff it can be rather pricey. And so once I started putting together items for Samantha, I started trying to get items secondhand, repurpose them for in ways in which they were not intended, or to get the off brand. And I don't want to say off brand because My Life S and Our Generation are brands in and of themselves, but brands other than American Girl, like Journey Girls and things like that. And the biggest question, especially for my family when they were finding things, is this the right scale for the American Girl dolls? Now, I can't remember who that was. Anyway, there's a video out there where the lady calculates all the different scales that her different doll collections would be if they would be real life. Is Munos, Pupes. Yeah, anyway, I can't pronounce all of those words in Spanish, but I'm going to put the title down here and I'm going to try to practice them so that I can pronounce them next time I reference her videos. So she does these calculations for all these different dolls that she has. She has a wide collection of dolls and basically gave the scale of what American Girls would be if they were actual, like real children. And I think she said they're roughly about maybe 1/3 scale. And as a person who worked in 1/12 scale, uh, and she's a math teacher, she did also make it mention that it's not an exact. So not all of the things that American Girl offers for their dolls exactly fits the scale that the doll kind of is. If you did the calculation. So if you did the calculations for this picture and you sized it up to real life size, this is not 1/3 size. Okay. There's some kind of area. But the whole point is that for the most part, the items look like they would be appropriate for the size of the doll. So I would wander around the store looking for items that roughly should be appropriate for the size of the doll. And so I got this picture a little while ago. And I have another one up there I picked up some time ago too. And what I like to do is I kind of think of the size of the doll's face. Roughly an American Girl doll face is about the size of the palm of my hand. And so I'll just kind of hold things up and I'm thinking if I had a wash bowl and a picture that was life size for me, how big would it be? What area of my body would it cover? And would that work out for the doll? So I have several wash bowls and pictures, and they are definitely larger than my head. Well, there's a couple different varieties. So this picture would roughly work, on Samantha's dresser or something like that. So just kind of go through. A couple days ago, I found this tea set. Uh, and I really need to make those thrifting videos, but I don't know. At any rate, I found this tea set. Some miniature Lefton Rose Garden tea set, I think. And I had to decide whether or not it would be appropriate for the American Girl dolls. And so I just kind of, thought about the size of the mug, thought about the size of this picture, and they are about the same. And so I bought it. Now, here's what I'm actually making a video about, is that when I first start getting the Our Generation stuff, here's our Generation stuff. And it seemed okay because I mean, it comes with the dolls. You put them in the doll's hand, the doll fits. Now, mind you, our generation dolls are a little smaller than American Girl, but I mean, we're relative here. So I'm looking at the size of the cupcakes and the pies and the things like that. And I thought I had a decent idea of the size that things need to be. When you put this cup, this came out of the restaurant, when you put this cup next to the coffee mug, the proportion is like way off. Usually coffee cups are like that big and coffee pots are like that big. So this is a little odd. But there are some inconsistencies, but I mean for a kid it kind of fits. You know, you can take your imagination there. It wasn't until I actually got this set of American Girl doll cups and the plates and the silverware that I realized exactly the difference in size. I mean, compare this picture to this picture and this picture, and the scale is just, it's totally different. This glass and this mug, I could go downstairs in the cabinet and get a glass that looks like this and a mug that looks like this. And this is not the size comparison between that mug and this glass, you know? So it's considerably different. Okay, we look at the size of the plates. Look at the size of the fork and the spoon. And after spending the time I did with the stuff from our generation, the American Girl doll stuff actually just seemed oversized to me. It did. It really felt oversized. Now, all that to get to the cookies. So, started out with the Our Generation cookies first. Here they are. And I really should pull Ivy's hand down here. Let me see if Melody will help me out. Okay, so here's Melody. And this is Melody's hand. We're going to put the cookie in Melody's hand. Well, I'm going to put the cookie. Melody's going to watch. Okay, so to me, that seems like a reasonable size cookie. Right? So, I wanted an American Girl set of cookies and cookie cutters. I'm not particularly biased when it comes to play sets. I like the Our Generation play sets. They're cool. I like most of their stuff, but I really did want some American Girl doll stuff too. This is the American Girl doll cookie. I mean, that's like a whole sandwich. Kind of takes up the plate. And I believe this is some of the sweet treats. So now I've got these cookie cutters from the sweet treat sets, and they are not at all what I expected. Let's put it in Melody's hand. It's like bigger than her hand. And comparing it to the Our Generation, I mean, there's like no comparison. And I don't know. I was just kind of shocked about these cookie cutters / sandwich cutters. It's just really interesting too, just to see the differences in these sizes. Now, does that mean I don't like the Our Generation stuff? Does that mean I don't like the American Girl stuff? No, I'm just pointing out the differences in sizes. And relatively speaking, Our Generation tends to have some inconsistencies in sizes too, even among its stuff. I just find all that really fascinating. And it may be something you want to think about when you are scene building, especially if you're mixing items between the two different companies, but you may find at some point that you do have a little bit of a discrepancy. If you would like to have things that are relatively real life. Of course, if it doesn't bother you, it really doesn't bother you. Like I said, I'm not criticizing how either company does their scaling. I'm just saying that I found it really interesting, especially when it came to the holiday cookies. And I thought you might find that interesting too. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Have a great day.